Yeah, I think winning a Group 1 does take a long time to settle in until I suppose the horse competes in his next event of that caliber. He's obviously been a magnificent horse for the stable and for the owners. As a yearling, he was, when you say what did you really like about him at the sales, I think it was more what didn't we like about him. He's a beautiful, flashy horse. He gets the eye straight away, and obviously his conformation tended towards us thinking that he was going to be a decent sort. Look, so you never really know. The camera angles can sometimes be deceiving. I found that he was up there with the pace. It looked like some of those front runners were going to maintain, but then he really got going and he did flash up late. I felt like with Samanga aboard, you can never write it off. He's always going to get the best out of the horse if there's something underneath him. And the horse had travelled exceptionally well to Cape Town. His build-up going into the race was really good. The way he travelled down, I think the two things we were concerned about probably was his hydration, which was spot on from the minute he arrived, and how well he would be on his manger. His first meal that he was there was a little bit off, and thereafter he was on his manger, and all signs leading up to the race, we thought that he would be very competitive. So he's a horse that usually tends to come on with a run, which is why we were sort of in the dilemma of thinking, being a sprinter, it's not really a necessity to give him a run, but him being the type of the horse that benefits from a race, even though he was carrying a top weight and giving a lot of weight to the other horses in the field, we thought it would be a great conditioning run for him going into the computer form. Having said that, we pretty much gained everything out of the run that we wanted. Look, he's the type of horse that have had only one other jockey's ever won on him, but Samanga seems to get the best out of him all the time. They've always had a great rapport with each other since he was a 2-year-old. I feel like the draw on Saturday would be favourable to us, taking into consideration the way the horses have been running up the sprints at Turfentine. But you never know on the day what the going is going to be like. I think that the outside draw has been favourable to other horses, and we're hoping that it will be favourable to him. Having said that, it's a very competitive race. The older horses that are there, we all know that they're decent sorts, the horses that have come down from the Cape. Bohica, as we've said before, he is an in and out horse, so that does always raise a question mark that he can give you a flat run every now and then. But when he gives his best effort, he's right there. Then to touch on some of the 3-year-olds in the race, there's some up-and-coming 3-year-olds that seem to be putting their hats up to show that they might be some of the sprinters for the future. So that's something that we would always have to be respectful of. Having said that, I haven't really seen the betting, but I know Master Archie is a fancied horse. Having bred the horse, there's obviously a sentimental spot there, but he had a really lightweight in the Man of War, and now coming up in weight with older horses, he's got a lot to do, but he does seem to be an improving 3-year-old. There are other 3-year-olds in the race, and I think it's going to be a very competitive computer form sprint this year.